My name is Michelle Boston, and this is my digital portfolio for the course titled Technology Instruction for Linguistically and Culturally Diverse Learners. I am a 5th and 6th grade teacher at Melzer School in East Main School District 63, located in Morton Grove, Illinois. Part 1 of this portfolio will describe a lesson I taught with technology. Part 2 of this portfolio will describe a project students were assigned that used technology. Part 3 of this portfolio will describe a lesson I observed that involved the use of technology. Part 4 of this portfolio will describe a website I found that can be used in my teaching. For the lesson I taught with technology, I used Pear Deck to introduce poetry vocabulary to students at the beginning of a reading poetry unit. I decided to use Pear Deck to make this lesson more engaging for students while learning new vocabulary. I enjoyed using Pear Deck because it allowed me to use many different question features with students. For example, I was able to ask them how they felt about reading poetry by using smiley faces. I was also able to ask them multiple choice questions about different poetry terms to see their current understanding of these words and what I need to teach them to help improve their knowledge of poetry vocabulary. One challenge I faced was that students would change their answer when I was reviewing the correct answer for the vocabulary word. For example, when I clicked Show Responses, some students had chosen A while the majority had chosen C. I explained that C was the correct answer, and all of the students who had A then changed their answer to C. In order to address the challenge I mentioned, the next time I use Pear Deck, I will plan on using the lock screen feature that I was unaware of when teaching this lesson. This will prevent students from changing their answer when we are going over the correct answer. This lesson relates to WIDA Standard 2, which is English language learners communicate information, ideas, and concepts necessary for academic success in the content area of language arts. In the methods course I took last winter, we studied the importance of previewing vocabulary to English language learners before a unit began to introduce them to the domain-specific vocabulary. By previewing these poetry terms, I was helping all students, not just ELLs, feel comfortable with these new vocabulary words. For part 2, when students were asked to complete something with technology, my students were assigned to use Book Creator to publish their personal narrative drafts. Students drafted their personal narratives in a Google document, then revised and edited. The final step in the writing process was for them to publish. Book Creator allowed them to create an ebook that could be shared with their classmates. Students' reaction to Book Creator was quite positive. They were excited to publish an ebook instead of a traditional Google Doc. They especially liked designing their cover for their published personal narrative book. Students' experience with this new tool was seamless. I was really impressed with how quickly students were able to grasp this new technology. I also enjoyed observing students who became more proficient in Book Creator, helping students who were struggling with this new technology tool. As I reflect on this project, I think the best part of Book Creator was the fact that students can read their classmates' published books as they are all part of one collection. When we had our personal narrative celebration at the end of the writing unit, students were able to read many different narratives written by their classmates. This tool is applicable for use with all students, including ELLs. The assignment would not be different for ELLs, as all students were using their written draft from throughout the unit and copying it into their published ebook. This is the cover and first page of a 5th grade student's published personal narrative using Book Creator. This is the cover and first page of a 6th grade student's published personal narrative using Book Creator. For my observation, I observed a 3rd and 4th grade teacher teach a writing lesson that focused on conducting research for an informational writing project. The teacher's mini lesson showed students how to log in and how to search for books related to their topic. The teacher also showed students how to use an advanced search within Epic to help narrow down their search results. For example, This teacher showed students how to change their search results to show only nonfiction books related to their search terms. Students were amazed at the amount of books that were on Epic. I have 2 ideas of how to make this lesson better. One improvement would be to practice what words to search for in the search bar with students. For example, I observed some students searching their entire question in the search bar, such as, where do polar bears live? It would be beneficial to make a T-chart on poster paper that shows a question students might have to research, and then possible search terms that can be used to research facts to answer the questions. For example, some search terms for this example might be polar bears or Arctic habitats. I also think it would be beneficial to introduce EPIC to students and provide them with ample time to explore it on their own, with no assignment attached to their exploration. I noticed many students were overwhelmed with all the features, in addition to being required to research for their writing. This resource benefits ELLs because every word in every book can be clicked on and a definition is provided on the screen for the reader. This can help ELLs feel much more confident when reading independently, as they can determine the meaning of unknown words on their own without help from a teacher. This resource is also beneficial for ELLs because it has many books that can be listened to. This allows ELLs to listen to fluent reading and help build fluency in their own reading. A new resource I discovered was the website called Unite for Literacy. This website has over 200 ebooks for students to read. Students are able to read or listen to titles on this website. There are numerous pros of this resource. One pro is that books can be translated into many languages. I find this extremely helpful as I have many students who speak languages I am very unfamiliar with. It is often difficult to find books in their home languages, such as Arabic, but this resource has Arabic, along with many other languages, as options. Another pro is that students can access this resource at home for free, which allows students to build and practice literacy skills outside of school. There are also some cons with this website. One con I discovered was that most of the books on this website are geared for beginning readers, which means this resource may not be helpful in upper elementary grades. However, it could be useful with newcomers in the upper grades, as it may have books at their level. Another con is that there is no way to track what books students have read from the teacher login page. This website is extremely easy to navigate as the different collections of books are indicated with various pictures. This would help ELLs as pictures are used instead of words. I also noticed that this website would be extremely useful when teaching vocabulary to ELLs. There are specific books that contain vocabulary words with matching pictures to help reinforce the meaning of these words.